With the 4th generation Apple TV, getting iTunes video services onto our TVs is no longer a hobby project for Apple. With a much more cohesive mix of hardware and software, it provides an amazing media experience when it works, and an extremely frustrating one when it doesn't. Physically, the new Apple TV shares the same 3.9-inch by 3.9-inch footprint of the previous generation, but is almost twice as thick. That's because Apple packed in its A8 processor from the iPhone 6 and a heatsink to cool it. The new Apple TV also features 32 or 64 gigabytes of storage, depending on the model you pick. Around back, you'll find ports for HDMI, Ethernet, power, and a USB Type-C port for servicing. Apple decided to drop the optical audio port from the 4th generation Apple TV, which is a bummer for those hoping to hook it up directly to a receiver. Perhaps the most exciting hardware change for the Apple TV is the redesigned Siri remote. It's slightly larger than the previous remote and features a glass trackpad on the top of the remote, and it feels excellent. The touchpad is intuitive and offers a satisfying click. There's a dedicated Siri button too, which you press and hold to issue commands or ask questions. Also new to the Apple TV is the tvOS operating system, which looks much the same as the previous generation but with significant changes under the hood. tvOS provides a much more cohesive experience than previous Apple TVs and lays the foundation for what's to come. Setup is extremely easy if you have an iOS device. Pair your iPhone or iPad with the Apple TV via Bluetooth, and your account information, including your Wi-Fi passwords, will be transferred over. However, you'll still have to manually enter passwords for apps like Netflix and Hulu, which turned out to be a huge annoyance. It's curious why Apple removed support for the Remote app on your iPhone, which allowed you to type on your iPhone instead. The on-screen keyboard is atrocious for typing. Momentum scrolling helps quickly jump through letters and numbers, but I found myself hunting and pecking to hit the right characters. It's also a shame Apple didn't build in the ability to import apps and their logins stored on your iOS device to the Apple TV. The biggest addition to tvOS is the App Store. At launch, there are very few apps available, but there are some standouts. Netflix and Hulu work great and feature fantastic video quality, although there is no 4K support. Gilt lets you browse and buy clothes from your couch, which is actually a pretty great experience. Speaking of shopping, the QVC app is surprisingly good, blending live television with the ability to jump to different products and buy them. Impulse buyers beware. I didn't expect to like reading comics on the TV, but Madefire's blend of animation, music, and sound effects really worked for me. However, the app currently only features a handful of comics to download. No set-top box is complete these days without a virtual assistant and voice search, and Apple has brought Siri to the Apple TV. In my testing, Siri's voice recognition was excellent. Siri has gotten a little smarter with a better understanding of natural language. For example, you can tell Siri, "Show me some good comedies," and she'll bring up a list of movies for you. Sometimes the results are a hit or miss, like when The Artist showed up under comedies. Siri also has access to some information in each app, so you can ask her questions about what you're watching. For example, you can ask, "What did he say?" And Siri will rewind back to the dialogue that you missed. You can also tell Siri to turn on or off captions, which is super handy. But that's about the extent of Siri's capabilities right now. Asking more advanced questions while watching movies, such as, "Who is that?" gave an error message that read, "Sorry, I don't know how to answer that." And Siri is curiously limited in ways that her iPhone and iPad counterparts are not. Asking for upcoming appointments yields nothing, as she doesn't have access to your calendar. Asking her what's going on around you doesn't work either, since there's no Maps app for tvOS. It's a jarring difference from what Siri can do on your phone. It would be a mistake to dismiss gaming on Apple TV. Apple pioneered playing games on our mobile phones, and it could do the same for casual gaming on the television. Currently, the most downloaded apps are games, and I'm not surprised. If you like gaming on your iPhone or iPad, you'll love it on the Apple TV. Games launch quickly and feature gorgeous graphics for mobile games, that is. Rayman Adventures is beautiful, and I was impressed with how much fun it is to play with the remote swipe gestures. Even though the controls are simplified from the console version, it works well as a platformer. The Apple TV isn't gonna replace your PlayStation, Xbox, Wii U, but it offers enough of a casual gaming experience that I can see people hopping into a game between Netflix binges. There's just something compelling about seeing and playing your mobile games on a big screen. The 4th generation Apple TV is the best version yet by a significant margin, and the only way to enjoy iTunes content on your TV, but Apple still has a lot of work to do. I like tvOS, and performance is solid, though it is disappointing that there is no 4K support for future-proofing your home theater. From testing the limited selection of apps available, I came away impressed with Apple's effort to get media onto the television, though I was underwhelmed by the narrow implementation of Siri. If you live in Apple's ecosystem, the Apple TV is a great buy, but for those looking to get their content from a variety of sources or looking for a better gaming experience, competitors like the Roku 4 or Nvidia Shield TV may be better alternatives.